Right now this morning, COVID relief funds run dry. Ahead, how Minnesota schools now face the financial fallout. And egg prices keep soaring, outpacing all other groceries. Coming up, cracking the reasons behind the continued cost surge.
Plus, the potential for light rainfall, maybe a sprinkle or two coming out through the afternoon and tonight as well. Well, milder conditions will be a part of our forecast as well. I'll talk about that in your next QuickCast.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Thursday, October 3rd. A lot of news to get to, but first we'll take a look at the weather. What can we expect out there today? Who's showing up today? Which season?
I have no idea. In fact,
we'll all find out together.
Yeah, today we get into, we're looking at least some light rainfall with this and sprinkles, and it's only about a 20% chance. Unlikely to really get measurable for us here locally for La Crosse. Hey, as we get into it though, we have temperatures that are going to hold on to the mild today and possibly get into the warm once we get into Saturday, bringing those winds back, and then the possibility of those breezy and gusty winds could actually be fire dangerous for us here locally. Get into it though, the fog is really not an issue today. However, we do have more of that rainfall on the way coming out of Bismarck, out of the Dakotas, and then slowly but surely working its way to us. So that means we're going to be cloud cover pretty much into it. Mostly clear to at least cloudy skies for today, getting into the evening hours. In fact, the radar right now is quiet. As you can see, as we get right back into it, the clouds are sneaking in, and when I come back, I'll have a better overview of how your forecast will be playing a role in your forecast. As again, back to you, my friend.
All right, Art, we'll see you later. Thank you. New evidence emerging in the federal case against former President Donald Trump over his alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 election. The filing by special counsel Jack Smith, released by a federal judge, provides the most comprehensive view yet of the election conspiracy case. Smith argues Trump's actions were in his private capacity as a candidate, not his official capacity as president. The 165-page document includes new witness testimony and previously undisclosed evidence about Trump's actions leading up to and on January 6, 2021. And a new Department of Homeland Security report is warning of a high threat environment ahead of the election and amid Middle East tensions. That assessment points to potential extremist violence fueled by political divisions and foreign conflict. Officials say the report comes as tensions escalate in the Middle East following recent actions. The White House is working to curb Israel's response to the latest airstrikes from Iran as Israel begins its own ground operation in Lebanon. Amid concerns of a regional war, multiple nations now planning to evacuate their citizens. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
Flashes in Lebanon disturbed the darkness overnight. Multiple Israeli airstrikes rocked the suburbs around the city of Beirut. At least 6 people were killed and 7 wounded in Thursday's bombings, according to the nation's health officials. This comes after Israel vowed to retaliate for Iran's ballistic missile attack a day before. No! Almost all intercepted with the help of U.S. destroyers based in the eastern Mediterranean. Top Israeli military officials Wednesday said they have the capabilities to reach any point in the Middle East, and our enemies, who have not understood this yet, will soon understand. From Japan to Australia, a growing number of nations are planning to evacuate citizens from Lebanon as fighting intensifies. Israel says it's beginning a limited ground incursion targeting the Iran-backed Hezbollah militia. President Biden Wednesday said he spoke with G7 leaders to discuss their response to the conflict, which will include new sanctions on Iran.
We'll be discussing with the Israelis what they're going to do, but all 7 of us agree that they have a right to respond, but they should respond in proportion.
Meanwhile, devastation grows in Gaza. At least 80 Palestinians were killed in multiple Israeli strikes. Israel, continuing fighting through Rosh Hashanah, acknowledged the Jewish holiday isn't complete without the dozens of hostages still held by Hamas.
President Biden says his administration would not support Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. And speaking of President Biden, he is expected to travel to Florida and Georgia today to survey storm damage from Hurricane Helene. He'll make stops in Tallahassee and Perry, where he'll also take an aerial tour of the devastation. Then he'll head to Georgia to meet with officials and discuss recovery efforts there. This comes after Biden approved additional federal funding for the state and visited the Carolinas yesterday to see the impacts there. And closer to home, an Unalaska man is accused of reckless homicide, and he has pleaded not guilty. 33-year-old Aspen Kalina is accused of selling drugs that led to the overdose death at a Jackson County treatment facility last May. According to the criminal complaint, authorities tracked his ankle monitor to a park near the facility the night before the victim died. In Jackson County Court, Kalina's attorneys entered a not guilty plea. He'll be up for a 5-day jury trial, but no date has been set. The massive French Island fire at the Tie Yard of Omaha is now contained. The fire started Tuesday morning and burned for more than 30 hours. It damaged roughly the size of 4 football fields of property. Authorities say nobody was hurt. The town of Campbell fire chief says there is still some smoldering, though, and dry weather and wind significantly contributed to the fire spread.
It was a very wind-driven fire, which created turbulence and velocity in the fire itself. So it made the fire burn hotter and faster and spread faster. So we set up what we call a defensive operation, where we tried to control the perimeter of the fire and attack it to the best of our ability.
The fire department is monitoring the site to ensure the fire does not reignite, and the cause is still under investigation. And those dry conditions and strong winds raising fire risks in our area. That means several counties, including La Crosse, Eau Claire, and Buffalo, are now under high fire danger, according to the DNR. Officials warn dry vegetation and falling leaves also increasing hazards. They also caution against burning brush and note that campfires and even cigarette ash can all spark a wildfire.
Our friends that happen to be smoking, especially out the car window, and they're ashing their cigarette out the window, they're not properly disposing of those cigarettes. That's when this kind of situation comes into play and when we see these fires start to grow.
She suggests keeping the WizBurn app handy for weather and burn ban updates. Preliminary FBI data shows U.S. crime dropped in the first half of this year. Murders fell 23%, reported rapes decreased by 18%, and overall violent crime declined 10% compared to last year. Aggravated assaults, robberies, and property crimes also dropped. Officials note that thousands of agencies did not submit data, though, so they're relying on voluntary reporting from police departments across the country. And the town of Campbell is looking to become an official village. A special town meeting was held to discuss a proposal that would turn the town into an incorporation. The two biggest concerns of the proposal, according to residents, water and taxes. If Campbell is granted this petition, it would seal their borders, creating a secure tax base and making it easier for them to create their own water system.
We act like a village, we look like a village, we're compact, we're not leaving part of the town out there hanging, we're going to incorporate the entire town. So I think we have a very good chance of getting this done.
50 resident signatures are needed on the petition. It'll then go through La Crosse Circuit Court, then the Department of Administration. Once that's done, it's up to the Campbell residents to approve it via a referendum. Last time the town of Campbell tried to become a village was 27 years ago. Billions of dollars in COVID relief money for schools is now all dried up. Jonah Kaplan has more on what that means for Minnesota and an effort to make the extra funding permanent.
The American Rescue Plan was passed in March of 2021. It was a sweeping $1.9 trillion stimulus that included billions to help schools close the widening gaps of learning loss. Minneapolis Public Schools received about $250 million and used it on everything from extra tutors to extra social workers to extra programming. The money was good for 3 years. The spigot turned off September 30th. In Minneapolis and St. Paul, parents, teachers, and administrators rallied for renewed funding. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar said she's leading the efforts in Washington.
We cannot afford for funding to fall back to pre-pandemic levels, because we know if school funding increases, students' academic outcomes improve.
Of course, that frustration, though, it's not just about the money drying up. It's about the prospects for making this permanent, which would take congressional approval and then the signature of the president. The American Rescue Plan, though, that was passed with a razor-thin margin when the Democrats had control of the House and Senate. They don't anymore, and we've got this election coming up.
The ARP followed two stimulus bills passed during the Trump administration. Republicans feared more spending would lead to higher inflation. With Congress today working on simply funding the government, it's unlikely Omar's bills will even get through committee.
Minnesota received a total of $8 billion from the American Rescue Plan. In addition to the money directed to schools, the Minnesota legislature voted to allocate the funds to a long list of needs and requests. The time now is 6:10. Still ahead on your morning news. Two racing teams filing an antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR. Bank of America says its outage has been largely resolved, and X is estimated to be worth nearly 80% less than it was 2 years ago. And the cost of eggs spiking in price this year, far more than any other food you've probably noticed. Coming up, more on how the bird flu is impacting egg sales and if they will stabilize anytime soon. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Mount Everest, one of Earth's tallest peaks, is still growing. New research shows it's rising 2 millimeters a year. That is double the expected rate. Scientists traced this extra growth to a geological event 89,000 years ago when river changes triggered a chain reaction in the Himalayas. The discovery could shed light on how landscapes evolve with changing climates. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the home of the nation's largest music festival and the Brew Crew. Oh, I was thinking Coachella, but this is Milwaukee. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on. On time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
I remember coming home from school and pounding on the door, but my mother wouldn't answer. She'd be passed out inside. You know, my mother had a drug abuse problem. She struggled with addiction to prescription pills her whole life. But today with fentanyl, one pill, just one pill can kill. So I've worked with Republicans to stop the flow of fentanyl that's poisoning families across Wisconsin. I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. This fight hits close to home.
Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The board store, improving your home, improving your life.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington Insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington Insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington Insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Elmer Carl.
And I'm Mike Carl. Here we grow again.
At Carl's, when we grow, you save.
With our new location now open in Marshall, Minnesota, our buying power continues to save you money.
Save up to 40% on appliances.
We have exclusive in-store specials. You get free installation on select dishwashers and Serta mattresses. TVs and grills are also on sale. Stop into our new store here in Marshall or any Carl's store and save big.
Carl's, your servicing dealer since 1956.
We need real working people in Washington.
What a phony. Cook spent the last decade working as a political operative. Earned her money helping defund the police radicals like Mandela Barnes, the most anti-police candidate in Wisconsin history. Now, Cook won't let you protect your family. She wants to ban the most popular rifle in the country, earning an F from the NRA. Rebecca Cook, phony insider, dangerously liberal.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
Well, good morning to you. What's it, Thursday? Happy Thursday to you. We have limited fog this early morning, so far for now. And then, of course, we have light winds coming in for the day, so that's a relief. Clouds are going to be increasing through the day. We'll get up to mostly clear to mostly cloudy skies, maybe cloudy skies to finish out the night. We'll go into slight chance of light rainfall, and that sprinkles will be a part of that as well. Visibility, as I've mentioned already, not really an issue for us right now, even though we do have this system is on its way. Let's put this in motion for you. And you're going to be seeing this rainfall possibly coming out of Bismarck, and that's going to be headed for the Twin Cities and then headed our way as we finish out pretty much into the late afternoon and into the evening hours. Current temperatures for you in the 40s. You see some 30s in there still, potentially for maybe a little closer to getting near some frost out there. Maybe you're on your cars, your windshield. You'll also be seeing Sparta holding out at 38, La Crosse 49, and Eau Claire at 44 degrees. So the kiddos going to school, you may need to take a jacket with them. We still continue to decrease temperatures going into the 8 o'clock hour. Believe it or not, we're going backwards. 39 degrees going into Ladysmith for dew points, and we're looking at mostly 30s and 40s for the dew points. So we're a little bit dry for now, and we'll keep that up for the next couple of days. But here's what we're looking at here. We got the rainfall potentially coming in past Ladysmith. So Ladysmith may be about 4 o'clock or so in the afternoon. Eau Claire possibly around the 7 o'clock hour. Then it dips down, possibly hitting you near La Crosse as we get into 7 o'clock, but a lot of it seems to be going away. We'll see that mostly hanging down to the south by Prairie du Chien and Boscobel. Then eventually you're seeing that as we finish out, they will probably be the best as far as catching up for some rainfall. No one else is really picking anything up. You just see 0.01 for Boscobel and Prairie du Chien. That being said, Eau Claire, you're looking pretty good with maybe a slight chance of rainfall for you. We'll also see the possibility for La Crosse doing maybe a sprinkle or two. That's your full forecast.
In your consumer news this morning, 2 racing teams, including one co-owned by NBA legend Michael Jordan, have filed an antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR and its chairman, Jim France. The teams are accusing the stock car series of acting like, quote, monopolistic bullies, alleging its new profit-sharing charter limits teams to its series, tracks, and suppliers. So far, NASCAR hasn't commented on the lawsuit. Bank of America says its issues are largely resolved after customers reported outages yesterday. Some clients claimed they couldn't see their accounts. Others who were able to access their accounts reported seeing a zero balance. So far, the company has not said what caused the issue. Fidelity estimates X is worth nearly 80% less than when Elon Musk bought it 2 years ago. The social media platform formerly known as Twitter is no longer public, but Fidelity disclosed what it believes it is valued at now. According to the company, shares are worth just $4.2 million. Now, when Musk bought Twitter in 2022, they were worth $19.66 million. The new valuation implies Fidelity believes X is now worth just $9.4 billion. That is far from the $44 billion that Musk paid to buy it. New numbers show egg prices spiked in price this year far more than any other food item the government tracks. Emily Schmidt has more on why and how experts say you can scramble for some savings.
We may never know if the chicken or the egg came first. But grocery experts say the egg has been causing sticker shock.
The price of eggs are up a little over 28%. And frankly, what we're seeing is just the beginning of what could bring it to record highs.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics' latest numbers found grocery prices from last August to this one were fairly steady, up less than 1%. Fresh fruits and vegetables, bread, cost less. Meat and milk were around 3% higher, but eggs soared 28.1% to an average of $3.20 a dozen. Experts say there's one big reason: bird flu.
Egg production is down in July about 2.5%. So that has a ripple effect onto the shelves of our supermarkets.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says bird flu has impacted more than 100 million birds since January 2022, all while the American Egg Board's president and CEO says consumers have had 18 months of increased demand and less supply.
Any economist would tell you there's tension there between supply and demand, and we're entering our historically highest demand season.
For now, smart shopping and saving may be your best bet.
Forget the brown eggs. use the white eggs to save a little bit of money.
You can actually freeze eggs. And so if you crack them out of the shell, put them in a Tupperware container, you can freeze them if you're not using them up by the expiration dates.
Making the most of good eggs.
That's it for your morning consumer news. The time now is 6:20. Let's check in now with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett for a look at our forecast.
Didn't know you could freeze eggs like that. As we get into it here, holding on to the possibility of some limited fog through the morning hours. For now, we're holding on to light winds as well. Clouds are going to increase on us, and a slight chance of maybe a sprinkle to light rainfall today. Maybe going into the late afternoon hours, then into the evening commute and into the midnight hour, working from north to south across the area. Here's the batch of rainfall we're anticipating. In fact, it's only about a 20% chance, so I wouldn't hold your breath for it. You're also holding on to at least fog that is not an issue currently. You're holding on to the radar right now, looking at pretty much nothing going on there. We do see the clouds on the increase as we go slowly through the sunrise times, and you're going to be seeing more along the lines of clouds coming in, then getting out, and then coming back again to fill into the afternoon. Eau Claire looking at least sunny skies to start at 7 a.m. 46 degrees for you. Then you get into 63 degrees by the 11 o'clock hour, getting into at least partly cloudy to at least mostly sunny skies. La Crosse starts off with mostly sunny skies, gets to partly cloudy conditions, and then continues that all the way into the 9 o'clock hour for the mid-morning hours, and then loses it going into mostly sunny skies for the afternoon to start. And then we get back into more cloud cover, getting up to the Ladysmith area, up to the northern zone, and then into Eau Claire. That being said, the clouds begin to shift down. La Crosse picks up cloud cover going into the evening hours, so it's going to take us into partly to mostly cloudy skies. Rainfall probably hits Ladysmith in the form of sprinkles to light rainfall by about the 4 o'clock hour. Then it gets down to Eau Claire by 7 o'clock. You can see that. Then it shifts down as we get into at least the 7 o'clock hour all the way down into the 8 o'clock hour and 9 o'clock hour, and La Crosse could be in that mix right there. But most of it is heading for Decorah and Prairie du Chien and also Boscobel. You'll see mostly everybody's out of that. Clearing skies are on the way, at least to mostly clear skies. La Crosse still has at least partly cloudy skies getting out of that. Once we go into the overnight, mostly clear skies for La Crosse with the rainfall down to the south. That being said, we take a gander what's happening for Saturday. Breezy and windy conditions coming back again. That's going to come out of the south. You can see right there. Then we shift over, holding on some rainfall potential as we go into Saturday night. It goes from a 20% chance for Saturday, picking up to a 40% chance of rainfall for Saturday night. And you see that rainfall right there potentially going into Sunday. And we keep the breeziness going on as you continue to sling that down. Winds will be coming out of the northwest. Rain amounts, though, boom, there they are, picking up a little bit higher for the rain. Haven't seen this happen in a while. You're looking at a less than 1/10 of an inch all the way up to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall for the possibilities of that. That being said, we take this out of the way and get into the highs for today. 64 to about 78 degrees. La Crosse should be about, say, 75 degrees today. You see the zones going into it, see who else gets what as we finish out this forecast. You're going to be seeing this continuing on with clouds coming and going throughout the day for everybody. You'll see that continue on as we finish out right here on the north zone as well, and then get into how this all plays out. Highs on Saturday, 80 degrees expected, and then cooling off to 68 degrees, and then more of those 80s possibly coming back again as we get in the tail end of next week. Back to you.
All right, Art, thank you. The time now is 6:23. Still ahead, doctors say RSV cases are surging earlier than normal this year. What parents need to know to protect your family after the morning sports blitz.
Coming up on the Blitz, area golfers looking to go low in some windy conditions at the regional tournament yesterday. Plus, the News 8 Now Play of the Week nominees are here. We're back in a moment.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big snacking and candy event. Right now, save on our incredible one-of-a-kind selection of craveable candies, nuts and trail mixes, and more. Like new Blaine's brand Heat and Honey, Magic Marshmallow, or Muddy Buddy trail mixes, just $3.99 a pound. Enjoy your favorite Blaine's Farm and Fleet chocolate snacks in large resealable bags, only $12.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. Plus, this Saturday and Sunday only from 10 to 2, don't miss free in-store Blaine's Farm and Fleet candy and snack samples.
You just have to get in the seat of a John Deere Gator XUV 835M, not because of the spacious cargo box, because it can tackle any terrain. Not even because it tows up to 4,000 pounds. You just have to get in the seat because something about being this productive just makes you smile.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a deer. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
As the mom of a daughter, I'm livid that boys are now being allowed to compete in girls' sports. It's just wrong, and I blame Tammy Baldwin. She voted to let biological men into women's sports. Worse, Baldwin co-sponsored legislation to force girls to share locker rooms with biological men. Tammy Baldwin is failing to keep our families safe. Tammy Baldwin's extreme values are wrong for Wisconsin. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
2 pancakes, a fresh egg, and 2 strips for under $5?
3 pancakes, 2 eggs, and strips, all for under $7.
A full breakfast with eggs, bacon, and pancakes, starting at $4.99, only at Perkins.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin doesn't share our Wisconsin values. Baldwin's life partner is a Wall Street executive who has invested in industries that Tammy oversees in Washington. But Senator Baldwin refuses to disclose her partner's financial assets. That's a conflict of interest. They're getting richer while you're paying more. Tammy Baldwin's not on your side. She's in bed with Wall Street.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join the team and give today.
Get up to an extra 15% off sale prices. The preferred customer event at Home Furniture.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, the Toma Timberwolves girls golf team is having a fantastic 2024 season. They're just outside the rankings for Division I and are hoping to finish the year strong. Regionals yesterday at Cedar Creek Golf Club. Windy conditions for the ladies, but some powered through the adverse conditions. Coming in first place, how about it? Freshman from Toma, Cadence Hasselberger, shooting an 81. She beats her sister Karma by 3 strokes for the first place finish. Senior Jayana Palm of Holman shot an 87, finishing in 3rd place overall. Alaska's Finley Shams and Lexi Ordle of Marshfield rounded out the top 5. And in the team standings, you guessed it, the Timberwolves take home first, shooting a 360. Cameron Ierschel finished 6th, and Riley Fritz was tied for 14th. Holman took 2nd with a 383, and Alaska comes in 3rd with a 391. The top 4 teams advance, so the Vikings and Hilltoppers will head to sectionals with Toma. And let's check out what we've got for the nominees for the latest edition of the News 8 Play of the Week. And for number 1, first up, 1 of 3 goals in the day for Maggie Crosby against Caledonia. She goes top left corner in this one. Crescent Hoka would win by 6. At number 2, domination and elevation on display 2 nights ago at Aquinas High. Addison 4 of the Blue Gold soaring high for the kill. She finished with 22 of them in the 4-set win for her side over Central. Let's head to the football field for number 3. It's Caledonia's Ethan Stendel hitting Will Allen down the sideline. He makes a move, and he is gone. 54 yards to the house. Allen's only catch of the day, a big one in a 28-0 Warrior win. Another Ethan up for nomination at number 4. This time, Ethan Knisley of Blair Taylor. Fantastic catch and a ridiculous move to get by defenders. He will coast his way into the end zone. Wildcats would pull off the comeback win over CFC. And lastly, this one sent in to us, and hold on to your hats because it is a doozy. His name is Kyle Sealing, and his game is making dudes miss. Sealing gets the handoff on the 3-yard line, and look at the Red Hawk halfback go. We sped it up a little bit there at the end, but he goes 97 yards for the TD. Finished with 220 yards and 4 scores against Viroqua. These submissions have been awesome, so keep them coming. And to vote for your favorite, head to news8000.com. And under the sports tab, click on Play of the Week and pick your favorite. Voting is open, so spread the word. It'll close on Friday at 5 p.m. Winner announced for 6 p.m. sports. And also, got to mention, how about that Brewer win yesterday? Game 3 later today. We'll have those highlights for you right through the night. See you then.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it,
Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Hi, I'm Danielle, General Manager here at the Board Store. In 1989, when I first saw my dad on the TV talking about high quality and low prices, I wasn't quite sure how I felt. But now, 35 years later, with this exceptional showroom, high quality products, knowledgeable staff, and the best installation crews in the area, I couldn't be more proud. And we look forward to continuing to serve all your home improvement needs for many more years to come. Come see us at the Board Store.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. These places employ us, sponsor the Little League team, and feed and clothe us. That's why I'm proud of the work I've done to support our business community. I know that the side of the aisle you're on matters less than being on the side of our main streets. No party has a monopoly on good ideas. I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm working for our businesses, working for our communities, and I'm working for you.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Who's that Derek Van Orden think he is? He thinks he's better than us. Like that time he screamed at somebody, I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Language!
Who does Derek Van Orden think he is, supporting an abortion ban?
I'm Rebecca Cook. Let me tell you who I am. I grew up on a dairy farm, run a small business, and I wait tables. Around here, we work hard, respect our neighbors' freedoms, and aren't looking for special treatment. We need one of us to represent us. That's why I approve this message.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
News 8 Now Sports. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Welcome back. In your morning medical news, temperatures are getting cooler, but that doesn't mean allergy season is quite over. Some scientists say lingering warmer temperatures are causing the allergy season to start earlier and last longer. That in turn delays the first frost, giving plants that release allergens more time to grow. Other experts say higher levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere further drive plant growth, generating even more pollen. It is the leading cause of hospitalizations for infants and a major risk for older children too. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, can be dangerous, even life-threatening for those who are most vulnerable. And the younger the child, the higher the risk. Mandy Gaither has more on RSV and how to protect children this season.
It doesn't typically peak until winter, but respiratory virus season has started in the U.S.
I'm already starting to see an uptick in RSV cases.
Immunologist Dr. Juanita Morris says some of the children who are most vulnerable to severe RSV are children with pre-existing health conditions and young infants.
Because of immature lungs, and they're not able to get rid of all that phlegm or blow their noses.
Up to 80,000 children younger than 5 are estimated to be sent to the hospital every year for RSV, according to the CDC. Symptoms include a runny nose, congestion, decreased appetite, coughing, sneezing, fever, and wheezing.
We're hoping that by protecting the babies, we'll actually be able to see a milder season for RSV for the young ones especially.
Mora says the best protection is through RSV vaccination. It's recommended for all pregnant people between 32 and 36 weeks of pregnancy. An RSV antibody is also advised for all infants whose mother did not receive the RSV vaccine during pregnancy and some children ages 8 through 19 months at increased risk for severe illness.
And we found it to be 77% effective in decreasing emergency department visits in babies, 80% effective in preventing overall symptoms of severe RSV, and 98% effective in decreasing hospitalization in these babies.
The RSV vaccine is also recommended for adults between the ages of 60 and 74 who are at increased risk of severe RSV. It's also recommended for everybody 75 and older. Dairyland Power Cooperative employees rolled up their sleeves for a second annual day of service yesterday. Volunteers teamed up to tackle service projects in 6 locations across several states. One project location was in Lafarge, where teams cut brush and trimmed trails at the Kickapoo Valley Reserve. Dairyland's president says the organization is even trying to help with Hurricane Helene relief.
And here with Hurricane Helene, we've got a massive number of calls for support. And like I said, we have from Wisconsin 40 people, related equipment, and even mechanics and safety folks going out.
The company had more than 200 volunteers celebrate the day of service. A Logan High and UWL alum is adding another medal to her collection. Chandra Ribrick competed in the VinFast Ironman World Championship women's race, finishing in the top 45%. The former La Crosse resident began triathlons in 2007, qualified for the World Championship in Madison last year. In September, she tackled the grueling 140-mile course in Nice, France, calling it her toughest challenge yet. She swam, biked, and ran her way to an impressive finish on the world stage. All right, guess we don't have that soundbite there, so let's check in with Art. Art, you running any triathlons this morning, or how's it looking out there?
I just scraped my knee and I almost fell over, so I think not, my friend. As we go into, we're looking at the possibility of a limited fog.
This morning, we're also going to be picking up light winds today. Clouds are going to be on the increase, and we have a slight chance of light rainfall, maybe a sprinkle or two working the area, maybe a few 1/100ths of an inch possible, and that's down to the southern zones by Prairie du Chien and also Boscobel. That being said, we take a quick gander at what's going to be happening here. I'm going to have to click this over because I had to turn my computer off. We're going to be seeing the visibility, as I've mentioned before. It's not much happening out there right now, but we do have, we look at this is the visibility we're seeing, and maybe a little bit of moisture starting to work out of the Dakotas, and as it gets closer to us, we're going to be seeing some of this rainfall sneaking in across the area, getting into the Twin Cities and bringing that to us. More along the lines of moisture trying to scoot up from the south as well to bring in extra cloud cover for areas down to the south. Hey, we've got observed wind speeds right now, pretty much calm as you can see across the board. We'll also hold on to a look outside, not much happening there for Eau Claire. You have some clearing skies out right now, and as we go into it, we're looking at again the forecast for Eau Claire looking pretty nice. We're going to be seeing 46 degrees this early morning, and over in La Crosse, well, we're looking at the possibility of conditions to be about 50 degrees to start the early morning, 75 for your high for today under partly cloudy skies. All right.
Thank you, Art. Coming up, we're joined in studio by some seasoned racers. They'll take us inside the 55th Oktoberfest race weekend in West Salem.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
Every day we battle illegal drugs coming into our community.
And we know the attacks on Tammy Baldwin are not true.
Tammy's working with law enforcement to stop the flow of fentanyl.
She brought Democrats and Republicans together
to crack down on drugs coming from China and Mexico,
giving us more tools to fight drug smugglers.
And Tammy voted 32 times to strengthen the border.
Don't believe the attacks.
It's Tammy Baldwin I trust to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington Insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington Insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington Insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
Cooley Carpet has always been more than just carpet, and now the name will reflect that. Cooley Floors and Design. Along with the brand new name, there's a fresh new look to the showroom. Don't worry, Cooley Floors and Design still has the same great team at the same convenient location. Ready to elevate your space? The design consultants will take the time to discuss your dreams, needs, and your budget. Cooley Floors and Design will accompany you through every step, from expert advice to professional installation. Visit Cooley Floors and Design on Mormon Cooley Road for a fresh new look.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
All right, as we get into what's happening out there right now, starting out, we're looking at light rainfall potential coming in, say the late afternoon hours going into the early evening and all the way into the midnight hour. We're not looking at a lot of rainfall. It's a 20% chance you may get a sprinkle out of it. Other than that, folks down by Prairie du Chien as well as Bosqueville, they'll pick up maybe a 100th of an inch or so possibly. Mild conditions will ensue back again today, holding on to the Saturday where we'll see possibly up to 80 degrees. That takes us up to the warm, and then eventually we'll cool it on down going into Sunday with temperatures getting much cooler. Right now, we're still seeing that dry air down to the south or near the Gulf of Mexico. Working up towards us, though, we see more along the lines of moisture starting to work its way back up, and a little humidity is on the way too. We'll get into it right now. The radar's pretty much nothing happening there. We'll get into the cloud cover, but things are happening and shaping up here. We'll find ourselves with at least increasing clouds through the day, mostly clear skies all the way up to at least mostly cloudy skies, maybe even some cloudiness as we get up to the north by Ladysmith later on into the evening hours. And tonight, Sky Tracker, what you're looking at right now, will continue on holding on to the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour. Not much happening as you get into the east to 7 a.m. hour. Then we'll get all the way into the late morning to early afternoon, where we see these clouds start to move in by Ladysmith. So your cloudiness is going to get up there, possibly to mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies. Eau Claire will hold on to at least near partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies for you. Down to the south, we're holding on to limited cloud cover, but it's picking up down from the south. We'll see that continue on and fill in as we go through the afternoon. Not much showing on the radar for this map right now, but as we get into it, I'll show you again another map version of this. You'll be seeing a possibility of a little light rainfall coming into the picture. La Crosse holding on to at least partly cloudy skies to finish out the 8 a.m. hour, going into mostly sunny skies. Then by noon, you're looking at clearing skies. But as I told you, Eau Claire is going to get back in the clouds, increasing, get in from mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies going into the late afternoon or early afternoon hours and continuing on. As we finish out over the next few days, though, this is what I've got going on for you. 75-degree heat for today. Then we get into at least 72 degrees going into for Friday. Breezy winds, windy conditions come back for Saturday with a 20% chance of rainfall. That takes us into the possibility of fire danger coming back again. That'll go all the way through Sunday with winds slowly but surely holding breezy but tapering down gradually, with a 20% chance of rain during the day on Saturday to a 40% chance of rain coming in overnight into Sunday into the midnight hour.
All right, Art, thank you. Well, the 55th annual Oktoberfest race weekend fires up its engines today at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. 4 days of high-speed action await. Here to give us the inside track on this year's events, we are joined by two drivers and the co-promoter. So good morning to all of you. Thank you for being here.
You bet. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, so just start by telling us, what should we know about these races?
Well, this weekend is our 55th annual Oktoberfest race weekend. We start racing tonight, as you said, right through Sunday afternoon. We have a little bit of everything, 16 divisions, over 400 cars. campground full of race fans and a lot of fun to be had on the fairgrounds this weekend.
All right, sounds like it.
So I was going to say temperatures. How are tickets available?
You can buy them online, lacrossespeedway.com. Otherwise, you can buy them right at the gate. So tonight, racing starts at 7 o'clock, and then we go right through the weekend. I'm sorry, 6 o'clock, and Sunday afternoon starts at noon. But every night, our lacrosse late models, which Skylar and Don Thunder Turner would be part of that. They race tonight and tomorrow in double features, and super late models every night, and just a lot of fun to be had.
Okay, yeah, sounds like it. So should people bring the kids? Are there any other kind of family-friendly activities going on, or what else can you do?
Absolutely. So we have everything from a pet parade, bags tournaments, pancake breakfast Sunday morning, just a lot of fun. Skylar and I, we grew up at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, watching people like Don Turner. He's run every one of these. So this will be his 55th Oktoberfest race weekend. So
that is so cool.
A great family atmosphere, and bring the family out, bring your friends out, and enjoy some good stock car racing right here in West Salem.
Yeah, okay, so 55 years for you. Are you from West Salem, or are you around the area?
I'm from La Crosse here.
Oh, okay, so how does that feel to be part of something that's just kind of leaving such a great legacy?
Well, it makes me think I'm pretty old.
Yeah, there's that part
Still
too,
enjoying
right?
going in circles, so.
Yeah, I bet you do. What is your favorite part about being a driver?
Well, I'd say the thrill of speed. Still always wanted to go fast, and now there's young guys like Skylar Holhausen that go faster.
Okay.
And go past, and he's not very polite. He doesn't wave when he goes by.
What's your favorite part, Skylar?
I think it's the competition. This year, last year I won the championship. This year I'm down by 5 points coming into the weekend. So it's going to be a heck of a battle, and I hope everybody comes out and enjoys that.
Okay, and how are you feeling about that going into it?
He's been leading, the guy that's leading. He's led all season.
Okay.
So it's his race to lose and mine to gain. So
all right.
pretty excited.
All right, well, good luck to you.
So what kind of cars are we dealing with right here?
These are late models, NASCAR late models. So the same class have been running down there for a long time, and a lot of guys, there's been a lot of people running them, and it's been a good class to have down there.
And what kind of advice do you have for him?
Push that pedal on the right. And just be nice to number 7 when he goes by.
Try to give him a wave this time.
I wish him luck. Really, we like to have the local guys win it, and Skylar's dad was a champion here, and Skylar's been an awesome champion. I'd like to see him get it again. But
very cool. Yeah. So what did you bring here? Is one of these the trophy?
Yeah. So Weir's Machine out of Bangor makes these trophies for us. So this is the Dick Trickle 99, which will be contested Friday night, and then this is the trophy for Sunday.
Wow.
And then the fast qualifiers all get a speeding bullet, which that actually goes back into the 60s at Rockford Speedway, and we've carried on the tradition here in La Crosse to give the fastest car the speeding bullet award.
That's awesome. Dick Trickle's from here?
Dick Trickle's from Wisconsin Rapids, but he was instrumental in Wisconsin racing, and so he and my father actually started this race in 2006, and Skylar's dad was the first winner of the Dick Trickle 99. And for some reason, I think they were drinking beer and decided that it should be a block of cheese.
I was gonna say, I just realized it's
so
cheese.
It's a block of cheese, and we've recreated it and have the model in there, and Chad and the guys at Weir's Machine did an awesome job with this. It actually lights up, and it's been a neat addition to the tradition of Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I'm sure the guys look forward to taking this home. So quickly before we go, online, social media, where can people go for more info?
Yeah, so lacrossespeedway.com. We're on all the socials, Lacrosse Speedway. There's also Oktoberfest race weekend, but Lacrosse Speedway is probably the easiest thing to remember, and it'll link you to everything, but everything from results and schedules and ticket information, right down to parking. Everything's there for you to figure out your way. But like I say, 4 great days here in West Salem at the fairgrounds. Just a ton of fun, ton of racing, and the atmosphere is unmatched in short track racing in America, and we're glad to have it here right here in La Crosse.
All right, well, thank you all so much for being here to tell us about it.
You bet. Thanks for having us on.
Good luck to you both. All right, stay with us. We're back right after this.
We need real working people in Washington.
What a phony. Cook spent the last decade working as a political operative, earned her money helping defund the police radicals like Mandela Barnes, the most anti-police candidate in Wisconsin history. Now, Cook won't let you protect your family. She wants to ban the most popular rifle in the country, earning an F from the NRA. Rebecca Cook, phony insider, dangerously liberal.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More sofas, more recliners, more mattresses, more of everything. You're going to find whatever you want, and you're going to find plenty of it. And it's all priced to go with 0% easy payment plans available. And as always, free delivery. Just try that anywhere else. Come visit us today.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
As the mom of a daughter, I'm livid that boys are now being allowed to compete in girls' sports. It's just wrong, and I blame Tammy Baldwin. She voted to let biological men into women's sports. Worse, Baldwin co-sponsored legislation to force girls to share locker rooms with biological men. Tammy Baldwin is failing to keep our families safe. Tammy Baldwin's extreme values are wrong for Wisconsin. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin doesn't share our Wisconsin values. Baldwin's life partner is a Wall Street executive who has invested in industries that Tammy oversees in Washington. But Senator Baldwin refuses to disclose her partner's financial assets. That's a conflict of interest. They're getting richer while you're paying more. Tammy Baldwin's not on your side. She's in bed with Wall Street.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join the team and give today.
When I walked into these old buildings 35 years ago, I never imagined it would look like this. I never imagined we'd serve 12,000 homeowners. I never imagined I'd celebrate my 80th birthday here, and I never imagined that my then 10-year-old daughter would become the new general manager. But here we are, solid as a rock, carrying on a tradition of exceptional quality and service.
Celebrate our 35 years with your savings on new windows and doors, bathroom or kitchen, siding, sunroom or deck.
Who's that Derek Van Orden think he is? He thinks he's better than us. Like that time he screamed at somebody, I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Language!
Who does Derek Van Orden think he is, supporting an abortion ban?
I'm Rebecca Cook. Let me tell you who I am. I grew up on a dairy farm, run a small business, and I wait tables. Around here, we work hard, respect our neighbors' freedoms, and aren't looking for special treatment. We need one of us to represent us. That's why I approve this message.
Welcome back at 6:52. Time for your morning news now. A non-Alaska man accused of reckless homicide has pleaded not guilty. 33-year-old Aspen Kalina is accused of selling drugs that led to an overdose death at a Jackson County treatment facility last May. According to the criminal complaint, authorities tracked his ankle monitor to a park near the facility the evening before the victim's death. In Jackson County Court, Kalina's attorneys entered a not guilty plea. He'll be up for a jury trial, but no date has been set. A new court filing was unsealed in the 2020 election case against former President Donald Trump. In it, special counsel Jack Smith argues that Trump resorted to crimes after losing the election to Joe Biden. The case had been thrown into doubt when the Supreme Court ruled that a president cannot be prosecuted for official acts. The day after Iran fired about 180 missiles at Israel, reporters asked President Biden if he would support an Israeli airstrike on sites related to Iran's nuclear program. The president said no. As Israel's military operations against Hezbollah in Lebanon continue, 8 Israeli soldiers were killed there on Wednesday. The massive French Island fire at Thai Yard of Omaha is now contained. That fire started Tuesday morning and burned for more than 30 hours. It damaged roughly the size of 4 football fields of property. Authorities say nobody was hurt. The town of Campbell fire chief says there is still some smoldering, and dry weather and wind significantly contributed to its spread.
It was a very wind-driven fire, which created turbulence and velocity in the fire itself. So it made the fire burn hotter and faster and spread faster. So we set up what we call a defensive operation, where we tried to control the perimeter of the fire and attack it to the best of our ability.
Fire department is monitoring the site to ensure it doesn't reignite, and the cause is under investigation. Those dry conditions and winds are causing several counties, including La Crosse, Eau Claire, and Buffalo, to be under high fire danger. According to the Wisconsin DNR, officials warn that dry vegetation and falling leaves increase hazards. They also caution against burning brush piles and note that campfires and even cigarette ash can all spark wildfires.
Our friends that happen to be smoking, especially out the car window, and they're ashing their their cigarette out the window, they're not properly disposing of those cigarettes. That's when this kind of situation comes into play and when we see these fires start to grow.
McCormick suggests keeping the WizBurn app handy for weather and burn ban updates. The town of Campbell is looking to become an official village. A special town meeting was held to discuss a proposal that would turn the town into an incorporation. The two biggest concerns are water and taxes. If Campbell is granted this petition, it would seal their borders, creating a secure tax base and making it easier for them to create their own water system.
We act like a village, we look like a village, we're compact, we're not leaving part of the town out there hanging, we're going to incorporate the entire town. So I think we have a very good chance of getting this done.
50 resident signatures are needed on the petition. It'll then go through La Crosse Circuit Court, then the Department of Administration. Once that's done, it's up to the Campbell residents to approve it via referendum. The last time the town tried to become a village was 27 years ago.
All right, we do have increasing clouds through the day starting this morning, and you can see as you get into La Crosse, you're going to be picking up some clouds here and there, losing it and then gaining it back later on today. 51 degrees for 8 a.m., getting 69 degrees by the noon hour. Eau Claire holds on to some mostly sunny skies to at least increasing clouds to cloudiness as we go right through the afternoon. Bear that in mind, 49 to 65 degrees through the morning hours. Hey, for your highs today, you're looking at least 64 to 78 degrees, and La Crosse is going to hit at least 75 today. We'll possibly see 72 for tomorrow with increasing winds for Saturday and a 20% chance of rainfall going all the way up to 40% overnight into Sunday.
Thank you, Art. The original mold involved in the discovery of penicillin is going up for auction. Scottish bacteriologist Alexander Fleming was accidentally stumbled upon the world's first antibiotic after leaving a stack of staph cultures next to an open window. Don't you hate when you do that? That happened in 1928. He created and inscribed the medallion containing the mold for his niece as well as former heads of state. Penicillin, of course, changed the course of modern medicine and has helped curb many diseases over the course of the 20th century. The auction house Bonhams estimates this piece of medical history could fetch up to $50,000. $50,000 for a piece of mold, but it is a piece of iconic mold, right?
Right.
I guess you could make yourself feel better about that purchase.
I could use that to buy a moldy house.
There you go. Ryan said something, but I couldn't hear it. All right, well, thank you for starting your morning with us. We'll see you back here.